Very good evening to all of you. I'm going to talk about climate change, a reality that has already started affecting our everyday life, be it increasing disasters or diseases like dengue, Nipah, young heart attacks, cancer, renal failures, and whatnot. And Stephen Hawking has warned us about the threat of extinction. Under this context, resilience, today's word or theme, as in climate resilience, is a great word. And I believe words have a very powerful influence on our thought process. And I came across this one particular word about a decade back. And ever since I heard this word, I'm kind of obsessed with the possibilities that this word gives. And it's called transcendence. In a way, transcendence has become my life's pursuit. And what does it mean? It means the act of rising above something to a superior state. When you achieve transcendence, you have gone beyond your ordinary limitations. Now, what is the connect between transcendence and climate change? In order to say that, I have to, share a little bit of my own experience with the tribals of Madhya Pradesh, where I was spending initial 3 years of my career. Having been a, metropolitan girl the most part of my formative years, grew up in a concrete jungle, I've never seen a rural life, let alone tribals. So intrigued and curious about their life in this real, serene, and green jungle, I really tried to understand them deeply. And the more I studied about them, understood them, the more I fell in love with them. And I don't think I wouldn't be what I am today right now had it not been for my meeting with these wonderful and rare human beings left on this planet. Particularly, there was this trip I made to Bega Czech, which is the heartland of the tribals called Begas, which is one of the most remote and deepest forests in our country. That trip, gave me a perspective about life, and my life never remained the same. Particularly, there's this one tribal man whom I met near a waterfall on one of the rides. Just like I was interviewing a lot of tribals, I asked this man, why is that you want to live in this jungle where there are no facilities? Why don't you come to a town or a city where you can offer better education, better healthcare, better facilities for your children? And you know what that man replied? He asked me back, why do I want to leave and come and live in a city or a town which can't even give me clean air to breathe, or pure water to drink, or safe food to eat? I mean, look around. Can you find this water in the town? He pointed to the waterfall we were standing next to. Can you get this clean air? And look around how green my forest is. Why would I want to leave this? So when he asked me these questions, you know how I felt? Yeah, what it actually led was further questions, a chain reaction of questions about my own life. I started wondering am I complicating my life too much? Yes, they don't have cars, they don't have bikes, but they have strong legs that take them 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers every day, directly connecting with Mother Earth. Yes, they do not have mobile phones or laptops or internet to connect them to the world, but he has his full heart, which is deeply connected with his family, his community, his forest. And that connection I feel is more beautiful and way more healthier, in my opinion, than any of the G connections that we have right now. And, when I saw his face, I felt something. I felt it was a vibe, intuition, a feeling, I don't know. I feel it was a vibe of content, mental peace, or innocence, or inner peace, whatever you want to call it. And what I saw in his face, I felt I don't see it in any of in my face, and I'm sorry, I don't see it in any of our faces. Because, in my opinion, he had nothing that we have, but he had everything that we don't have. And I don't know whether this tribal man knew to read or write, but in my opinion, he was the most educated man I have ever met, because the wisdom he gave me, nobody else had ever done it to me before my life. And in a way, he became my guru. So with all these burning questions in my mind, I did continue with my life as usual. And then I came to Kerala. I took my post as ED Suchitwa Mission, the state nodal agency for waste management, where further research into the subject gave me more and more revelations. One of the biggest revelations came through a report by UNDP. And the report was called Chemicals and Waste Management for a Sustainable Development. And as a mother, when I saw this report, when I read this report, it was so shocking that, frankly speaking, I felt guilty giving birth to 2 children of my own. What did it say? It said around 300 contaminants are there in the umbilical cord blood of newborns. So what this essentially means is that right from a life is formed in a mother's womb, that life is being exposed to the most organ-damaging chemicals ever. A relevant study said that our babies are born pre-polluted. So what do you think, how do you think would be the health of this pre-polluted baby growing up in a toxic environment that we have created for our sons and daughters? In a way, what has happened, I believe, is that we are so concerned about producing more and more products to make our life comfortable, that somewhere in the line, the fact that this has led to production of babies with manufacturing defects has somehow slipped our mind. And where do these chemicals come from? Every modern day product that we use has chemicals in it. Whether it is your toothbrush, your newspaper, your favorite processed food, this sari, this mic, all of it, name it and you got it. Healthy is to work in a place where there's fresh flow of air, natural sunlight, though it might make us a bit sweaty, but no. We want a comfortable, airtight room that is air conditioned with complete artificial lighting, even if it is at noon. Healthy would be to walk 10 kilometers every day to work, but no, we want comfort. So we go in a fossil fueled vehicle, increasing our carbon footprint. Then I hear one of you say, come on, where do we have the time? Yes, my friend, I couldn't agree with you more. Me, myself included, all of us have designed, or rather should I put it, misdesigned our lives in such a way that there is this apparent feeling of no time, And where are we running? We keep running behind success. And mind you, this success should have one or more of the following components: either power, money, or fame. And when does the running start? As young as when you're 5 years old. When my 5-year-old daughter comes, when in her UKG, she comes and says, Amma, tomorrow's dictation test, I'm so scared. I was like, what are we doing giving stress to a 5-year-old? And for God's sake, she's already a pre-polluted baby. So I don't think we are raising good and human beings or happy human beings anymore. We are just raising racehorses, don't you think? And what do these racehorses do? They just keep running faster and faster and faster and get where? They don't go anywhere. They just go round and round. And what difference does it make? Oh yes, there's one horse which comes first and the other horse which comes last. And the one who bets on this horse will be making a lot of money. But what difference does it make to the horse? Whether it is this horse or this horse, it is a horse at the end of the day, and they both eat the same grass, right? Our heart, our inner world, our inner peace, happiness, atma, soul, whatever you want to call it, is like this horse. All the victories we gain outside are just feeding the temporary pleasure points. They are like the ones who bet on this horse, okay? But our inner world is like this horse which cannot grow if it just keeps running like this, trying to feed these temporary pleasures. No wonder, we have increasing depression, increasing suicides, increasing family social problems, increasing child drug addiction, depression, and whatnot. So if at this point of time we need a better life, a happier life, a healthy life, what we need is a major rethink, a major revisit, a big redesign, a holistic change, a transcendence. This is what we have to do right now. So what do? How do we do it? Now that you folks are with me, shall we just wind up all this talk business, close down this campus and start living in the forest from tomorrow? Shall we do that? Yes? We can't, right? Practically, possibly, we cannot do that, right? So let us take it slow and steady. Let us take some small baby steps, one step at a time. And that's what we did in the year 2015 in the National Games called Green Protocol. So what is Green Protocol? Simply put, it is the reduction of the culture of excess. And why reduction? For that, we need to understand how this climate change happened in the first place. If you see around 400 years back, our life was never so much out of sync with nature. Circular economy and self-sustainability was a norm. For example, very simply put, if we were used to use a cloth, it was made from natural fibers like cotton or silk, and it didn't have much carbon footprint nor chemicals, and when the use was over, it went back to the soil, completing the natural carbon cycle, okay? And it didn't produce much damage to the nature. And every geographical unit, be it a group of villages or hamlets, was self-sustainable in food and other basic requirements. Because at that time, it was a need-based economy. Then we slowly moved to the greed-based economy. We started producing more and more and throwing more and more, and we just kept this linear economy going, basically the use and throw economy. And so what? Let's just keep using and throwing. What's wrong with this movement? This is the problem. All of us know that this linear economy has led to so much of carbon emissions that it is now standing at a whopping 42 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year. So then I start wondering, how is that we call ourselves the intelligent species? When we continue digging our own grave on an everyday basis. If Stephen Hawking's what he said is to become true and we do become extinct, we'll be one of those species which has stayed for a very short span of time on this planet, hardly 2 lakh years, So that way I start wondering if the cockroach is more intelligent than me. But anyway, jokes apart, coming back to the point, what I'm trying to say here is that obviously this cannot continue. So, ta-da, reduction is the winner, it's the best and the only option to go forward. And with the National Games, what we did, we tried to reduce only one particular part of this economy, the disposable economy. So basically the disposable water bottles, plates, and I'm sure a lot of movement has come now. And we created a system of alternatives so that this disposable can be done away with. And what is the impact we had? Oh no, this is not one of our venues, but this is what you usually expect after a big event like National Games, which is the equivalent of Olympics, right? In magnitude. But this was our venue. Why? How did this happen? Because we prevented waste from being generated, rather than generating waste and then breaking our heads what to do with it. Prevention is better than cure, remember? Then we say, what about the packaging waste? Our answer is go local, go natural. So we created some campaigns like Chakka Manga Tenga, which in English means jackfruit, mango, and coconut, which are the traditional food wealth of Kerala. So by inculcating natural and local food, we are not only promoting healthy food habits among the children, but we are also preventing the packaging waste in which all the unhealthy processed food comes. So this was one of the campaigns. This also means that we can promote the local entrepreneurs, the farmers, and boost the local economy. So likewise, we are now promoting all other such concepts of circular economy, namely reuse, swap shops, repairing, All such stuff under our new initiative called C-Power5, which rightly stands for Change Can Change Climate Change. It's one of our district administration initiatives wherein under the District Collector's Internship Program, we are training young social entrepreneurs who will create business models that will bring back the lost concepts of local economy, circular economy, self-sufficiency, and self-sustainability. And we've been doing quite some activities involving the community, like dump site clearance and climate education week. And now we are taking up urban farming, wherein we are hoping that we can make Trivandrum self-sustainable in villages from within the city itself. A big dream, but we are trying. All of these is being made possible by a group of envious, energetic people, young people, who are also being trained to be the climate change leaders of tomorrow. But they won't be able to succeed without you, each and every one of you, all of you, unless you are ready to change, unless you are ready to be the change you wish to see in the world, unless you are ready to make the right choices for a sustainable future. And let me tell you, choice is another powerful word. The choices we make shape our destinies. And the best example of people making the right choice is the floods that we faced recently. Had people not chosen to come out of their houses, put their acts together, take responsibility for their community, instead of sitting back at home and watching floods on their gadgets, had the people not chosen to bring the best out of them, to bring the best humanity out of them, I don't think we could have faced the disaster like what we could have faced, what we faced the last time. And let me tell you, these floods are just a teaser of the mother of all disasters, the climate change. So if only we can create the choice, make the choice of ensuring that, this people's power is alive every day, I am sure, I know for a fact that we can, reverse climate change trends, be those intelligent species who could survive on this planet for a long time. And thank you all. Before I conclude, I just want to, say a small remark about the sari that I'm wearing. This sari is 20 years old, 21 to be exact. This is part of the oldest fashionable challenge that we have taken up. As a concluding request, I challenge you to take up this challenge. Thank you.